Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, guys. This is Nancy Maney. She's got an interesting story. She came out of Scientology. And you guys know I do like to focus on the children, but once in a while I come across something that I find pretty interesting. I'm not going to play the entire list, the entire series of her videos. I am questioning, I believe she was an executive, maybe not an executive, but I just find her story interesting and I would like to know more. And honestly, at this point, if people don't stand up for children in Scientology, I get real bad vibes about it. But I'm going to go ahead and right here what she's talking about is, I don't know how it actually happened, but a Scientologist reached out. How did this work? Another Scientologist reached out to her asking questions, and she was going to respond. Her plans were to respond to the email, and then Osa interrupted it, and here she's going to talk a little bit about it.
Ended that email. The irony of being handed that email in the inner sanctum of Scientology was not lost on me, but seemed to be lost on the people on the other side of the table. They didn't quite get the concept. I also found out that the woman involved in South Africa never did receive it herself. They offered me help. They said, okay, we have somebody, we're ready to help you. We know you have all kinds of doubts and confusions about Scientology. You've invested a lot of your life, a lot of your time, and we're going to help you. And they brought me in for basically what was an interrogation. It was...
I just have to, you guys. Imagine the child going through these interrogations. Because it seems like a lot of people have no cognitive ability to talk about the children that are going through these sec checks and these interrogations and these auditing, and some of the children being forced to give auditing along with massages. I just want to bring that up.
My therapist called it very similar to what they did to the men that were captured in North Korea. And she said, the one thing, Nancy, that you can say for yourself and your strength is that it took them so long to crack you. And they did. They cracked me. I had a psychotic break. And this psychotic break was so intense that I was brought in restraints in an ambulance to a hospital where I did not even recognize my husband. And this out of reality continued. It took me a long time to recover. I didn't have any particular help. The quote-unquote church, I
imagine the only reason they actually did get her help was because a few weeks prior to her psychotic break, Lisa McPherson had passed away. And she didn't know this at the time because she was in psychosis.
Felt they were not helping at all. Let's just say that. The Scientology doctor they had sent me to had put me on a drug called chloral hydrate, the same drug that they gave to Lisa McPherson, who had died. I was told...
You would think that alone would warrant medical neglect, right? Wrongful death. And now how many years later, Lori Mills passed away from a similar, it wasn't exactly the same, but very similar circumstances.
It was the same drug that Dr. Dank had found for L. Ron Hubbard that was not such a psychiatric drug that he could take. And he's died. It was found in the body of, it was actually found as the cause of death of Pamela Anderson. No, is it Pamela Anderson? No, who's the, her son died and then she died. Anna Nicole Smith. It was this drug was the cause of her death. That's what the final thing came out.
I'm going to have to go and look that drug up. Do you guys think for some possibility it could be like an MK Ultra drug? I don't know.
Chloral hydrate. Chloral hydrate was the name of the drug. I was having my own little opposite day after the hospital and decided that we would do the opposite. So I stopped taking everything that Scientology had told me to take. The huge doses of vitamins that I found out later when I found out that Lisa had died. They'd given her huge doses of vitamins. And a specialist, a doctor, got on the line and said it wasn't one of these vitamins. It was the mixture of these vitamins that they gave her, sometimes forcing down her throat.
Isn't that interesting? I hadn't heard this one before. Oh, that, what was the judge's name? He must have lost that information when he threw out the fact that Lisa McPherson, there was no proof she was falsely imprisoned. And of course he didn't base his decision on any real evidence, did he? I guess that's like a different kind of court of law that I've seen.
That killed her.
This video actually too is worth a look. It's called Kids Seen from Sea Org Rescue. Go check it out. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.